In a small village nestled between two great mountains, there existed a river so serene and tranquil that its presence seemed almost otherworldly. The villagers called it the Whispering River, for it was said that on quiet evenings, one could hear the soft whispers of the water as it flowed over smooth stones and around bends in its winding path. But what the villagers did not know was that the river carried a secret message, written on leaves that drifted downstream from the ancient trees that lined its banks. These were no ordinary leaves, for they had been imbued with the wisdom of the ages by the forest itself. They held the stories of countless generations, etched into their delicate veins like the intricate patterns on a butterfly's wings. And as the river carried them along, these leaves delivered their messages to those who needed them most. One such message arrived on a warm summer morning, when a young girl named Arya sat by the river's edge, her feet dangling in the cool water. She had been struggling with self-doubt and fear of failure for weeks, ever since she had made a promise to herself to leave the village and explore the world beyond its borders. As she gazed out at the river, lost in thought, a leaf drifted lazily by her hand, carrying a message written in elegant script. When you feel the weight of your own doubts, remember that you are not alone. The wind whispers secrets in my ear, and I am reminded that courage is born in the smallest of steps. Arya's eyes widened as she read the words, and for the first time in weeks, a sense of hope crept into her heart. She realized that she didn't have to face her fears alone, and that even the smallest actions could be a step towards becoming the person she was meant to be. As the days passed, more messages arrived, each one tailored to the specific needs of those who received them. A struggling artist found inspiration in the words. The colors of your palette are not just hues, but the reflections of your own soul. Trust the brushstrokes that guide you home. A young couple on the brink of heartbreak discovered comfort in this message. Love is a flame that burns bright and true, but it can also be a beacon in the dark. Hold on to each other, through all you've been and all that's yet to come. The river carried these messages far and wide to those who needed them most. It was as if the water itself had become a conduit for the wisdom of the ages, delivering words of comfort, guidance, and hope to those who would listen. One day, a wise old man named Kaito sat by the river's edge, his eyes closed in contemplation. He had spent years studying the ancient art of medicine, and yet he felt lost and uncertain about how to help his ailing mother. As he gazed out at the water, a leaf drifted lazily by his hand, carrying this message. The balance of nature is not just physical, but also emotional and spiritual. Seek harmony within yourself first, and then you will find it in all you touch. Kaito's eyes snapped open as he read these words, and for the first time in months, a sense of clarity washed over him. He realized that his mother's illness was not just a physical problem, but also a reflection of her inner balance. And with this newfound understanding, Kaito felt empowered to help his mother heal. The Whispering River continued to carry its messages, delivered to those who needed them most. Its secrets were hidden in plain sight, written on leaves that drifted downstream from the ancient trees that lined its banks. But for those who listened, the river's whispers became a gentle breeze that carried hope and guidance on its breath. Years passed, and the villagers came to know the Whispering River as a sacred force, one that carried the wisdom of the ages on its surface. They would sit by its edge, listening for the soft whispers that spoke directly to their hearts. And when they needed guidance, they would look for the leaves that drifted downstream, carrying messages written in elegant script. The river's secrets were timeless and universal, speaking to something deep within us all. It reminded us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that even the smallest actions can be a step towards becoming the person we were meant to be. And as we listened to its whispers, we began to understand that the balance of nature is not just physical, but also emotional and spiritual. The Whispering River continued to flow, carrying its messages far and wide, a gentle breeze that carried hope and guidance on its breath. Its secrets were hidden in plain sight, written on leaves that drifted downstream from the ancient trees that lined its banks. But for those who listened, the river's whispers became a voice that spoke directly to their hearts.